If you're in this group today, your essay has a lot of great ideas, but needs some work on organization. That'll be your main focus for workshop time today. This doesn't necessarily mean that you need to start over or that your work is bad, just that it needs to be organized a little bit. Right now, you've got something a little bit like this. We want something a little bit like this to put all of those great ideas into an organized fashion so that your reader can understand. So as of right now, a lot of you have essays that look kind of like this. I'll read a little bit of it to you. Dogs are way better pets than cats. Not everyone will agree, but it's definitely true, and I will tell you some reasons why. One reason I like dogs better than cats is that dogs are always happy to see you. They are so excited when you get home from work or school, and they act like they missed you all day. This is because dogs are more like pack animals than cats. Cats usually just like to be alone, and they usually don't care when you get home. Some cats do, but most of them don't. Dogs are also better because they poop and pee outside instead of in a smelly litter box you have to clean. As long as you have a dog door, your dog can let itself out and you don't have to worry about keeping the litter box clean. Also, dogs don't get nighttime zoomies like cats do. You can kind of see that it's one big block of text. There's lots of good ideas, but they're not organized in a way that's easy for the reader to follow. As a reminder, a 5-paragraph essay should look kind of like this. Your introductory paragraph gives your reader an overview of what is going to be talked about in your entire essay. Then you have 3 body paragraphs that talk about 3 main points, and you finish up with a conclusion that wraps it all up. Some suggestions that I have for you to organize your work. Try reading Mrs. LaPaglia's example essay again, or for the first time if you haven't read it yet. Her example essay is in your compare and contrast slide deck, and it's a really good resource to use to see what a finished and organized essay should look like. Other suggestions for organizing your work. Listen to your essay read out loud. If you go to ttsreader.com, you can plug your work in, highlight everything, copy, and then put it in here and click play.
Dogs are way better pets than cats. Not everyone will agree, but it's definitely true, and I will tell you some reasons why.
That way you can listen to what your work sounds like read out loud. You're more likely to hear the pieces of it that aren't quite fully organized yet. Once you've done that, I suggest making a list of all the points you made in your essay, and then thinking, can you group those points into categories, maybe by color coding or using brackets? Let me show you what I mean. When I read through my disorganized essay, I made a list of all the points. I did this on paper because sometimes it's easier for me to think clearly if I write it by hand. In my disorganized essay, I wrote things about dogs being happy to see you, dogs being pack animals, dogs pooping and peeing outside, not having zoomies. I wrote about how both dogs and cats beg for treats. I wrote about how cats are more likely to scratch your furniture. I wrote about going for walks. I wrote about hairballs. I wrote about shedding. I wrote about ankle attacks, and I wrote about needing a yard. Lots of different ideas, not really organized yet. Then I took my list and I did some thinking. Are there some big categories that are clearly popping out to me as I look through those pieces? As I looked through, I decided that dogs being happy to see you, dogs being like pack animals, and dogs being less likely to attack your ankles seem like one big group in terms of the way that dogs behave towards humans. Then I thought that pooping and peeing outside of the house, hairballs, and shedding all have to do with keeping a house clean. Begging for treats and scratching and chewing didn't really seem to fit any categories. And being able to go for a walk seemed like an interesting idea that I hadn't spent much time on and maybe needed to give more details about. So then I was able to put my ideas into 3 main categories: behavior towards people, keeping your house clean, and exercise. There may be some parts in my essay that don't make sense, don't fit with the point I'm trying to prove, and I may just need to delete. One of the biggest and most important parts of your essay is your thesis statement. Many of you have a thesis statement. It's a little disorganized, a little long, or you have it over multiple sentences. A thesis statement should just be one sentence. Blank is better than blank because blank, blank, and blank. One thing is better than another because of reasons 1, 2, and 3. For example, dogs are better pets than cats because they are cleaner, they are more predictable, and you can get exercise when you have a dog. When I revised for my final draft, that became: the main advantages of owning a dog are their household cleanliness, their predictability, and the health benefits they can bring to their owners. When I'm done with a final piece, it looks something like this. My intro paragraph has a thesis statement that goes at the end. Blank is better than blank because blank, blank, and blank. First, this would be my body paragraph 1. First, blank is better than blank because, and I focus just on reason 1. Then in body paragraph 2, next, blank is better than blank because, and focus on reason 2. In body paragraph 3, finally, blank is better than blank because, and focusing on my third reason. Conclusion paragraph wraps it all up. You can see an example. In my thesis statement, the main advantages of owning a dog are their household cleanliness, their predictability, and the health benefits they can bring to their owners. This paragraph is all about keeping the house clean. This paragraph is all about dogs being predictable. And this paragraph is all about health. There are 5 paragraphs total, 1 that introduces the essay, 1 that wraps it up, and 3 that focus on 1 point each with lots of details. At this point, I recommend that you either pause the video or go back through it, pausing from point to point, giving yourself some time to listen to your essay out loud, then taking a look at the example that Mrs. LaPaglia wrote, making a list of points in your essay, and then grouping the points into categories so that you can write a clear thesis statement. If you get stuck or need some help, please message your teacher. We're happy to support you.